right there. And just like you said, we are about to permutation and combination, like way back in further mathematics or additional math, if you want to put it back then in secondary school right there. But it's really sad that the Super Eagles and Nigerians do have to be in this kind of situation at this point in time. We had our own destiny in our own hands, but we failed to capitalize on it. And now we are bearing the brunt of it right now. But the onus also still rests on the Super Eagles, not minding what's going to happen with South Africa. The fact remains that the Super Eagles need to win their 2 matches first before they can start thinking about whether South Africa will give them a edge or whether South Africa is going to draw points or not. Because our major problem has also been the fact that we have failed to do what we are supposed to do. Take, for instance, when we played Zimbabwe right here in Nigeria, we realized that it's important for us to get the 3 points against Zimbabwe. But we failed to do that, and that's really painful. And also, we went to South Africa, where we also realized that we need to get 3 points. We gave it all, but it was just not good enough. And I feel so sad about the fact that we failed to capitalize when we was also supposed to do. And I'm also worried about the tactics of the coach at that point in time, playing 2 defensive midfielders at the point in time when we need to score and when you need to create opportunities. Not really the best, but we saw him in South Africa against the Bafana of South Africa. He decided to play with just 1 defensive leader and then gave the room to the attacking midfielder to go all out. A better performance by the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But I just hope it will not be too little, too late going to this championship right there. Now we need to look at, we are playing Lesotho in Peter Mokaba Stadium. Definitely they will be getting the support of the South Africans. I won't be surprised if the South Africans come out en masse to give support to Lesotho, because they need Lesotho to also do them a favor. If they can force the Super Eagles to a draw, that will put pay to the dream of the Super Eagles, even thinking of qualifying as second best placed team. Another problem for us right there. So the onus rests on the Super Eagles. Later today, get the job done against Lesotho. Now give yourself a fighting chance when you come home to play Benin Republic. Because a loss for Benin Republic will definitely put them out of automatic spot. But we never can tell what's going to happen between Benin Republic and South Africa. That's another crucial match that we need to really also follow to see how things will pan out in that regard. So, Solomon, it's really interesting the way things are right now at this point in time. But the owner still rests with the Super Eagles to do their own job first. And I want to see how the Super is going to set up, because that's very crucial. Because I don't want to see the situation where we are also going to play with 2 defensive midfielders, Frank Oyeka and NDD. In the midfield, it kills anything that we have going forward. Well, so that we are degenerated to this level where we are also struggling to beat Lesotho, to beat Zimbabwe. On a normal day, a collection of home-based players, properly grown, can be able to beat Lesotho. But this over-reliance on foreign-based players and also not having enough time to get together, probably not getting it right technical-wise, it's also a major problem that's facing the Super Eagles. Because when it comes to the quality of players, no matter how you look at it, the first 11 players of the Super Eagles are playing for some of the top clubs in Europe. And they get the opportunity regularly. Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, you look at the midfield, Alex Iwobi, they'll talk about Wilfred Ndidi, playing regularly for Besiktas. You also look at the other areas right there. Moses Simon, and also not forgetting Olakunle, who has just been invited, are all playing regularly for their club side. The defense line, Benjamin Frederick is doing well with FC Denda in Belgium. And you also look at the fullback position. We have players who are doing regularly for their club side. So it also boils down to how come this crop of players can deliver. Some people have said the fact that we don't have quality players. Their players are not playing. But it doesn't just boil down to quality players. We have come to realize that not just quality players alone win tournament. The commitment on the part of the players and technical crew also go a long way in getting that done. When you're talking about quality players, when you look back to when we won the Nations Cup in 2013, we didn't have the best of squad. When you look at the work of some of that player or that team, were made up of home-based players. with a blend of the foreign-based players. It's not about the fact that they are playing for top clubs in the world. It's about that they believe in a cause. They come together, rallying on each other, and get the job done. Do we have that spirit in the current crop of the Super Eagles? It is lacking. We must work together. They must believe in this cause. They must ready to die for each other on the pitch of play. We have a huge task on our hand. Can we get it done? Can we do the needful? That is the onus. And it's also rest on the manager to bring out that in the players right there. We've seen him doing one-on-one with Victor Osimhen. But Victor Osimhen is just one in the pack. What about the collection of players? Does he do one-on-one with the defenders? Does he do one-on-one with Benjamin Fredericks? Does he do one-on-one with Wilfred Ndidi? Does he do one-on-one with Frank Oyeka? Does he do the same thing with Ademola Lookman, Alex Iwobi? That is how you can galvanize this thing. I believe so much in Richel, but his tactics so far for me has not really boded well for the Super Eagles. I like the way the Super Eagles were set up against South Africa. Unfortunately, we have only 4 midfielders this time around, which I don't know how he's going to plan his formation. Is he going to go back? Is he going to apply the 4-3-3 formation or a 3-5-2 formation? I don't know how the Super Eagles will set up. Hopefully, before the middle of the day, we can be able to know the formation of the coach right there. But the job now is, let's beat Lesotho. We must do that, Solomon.
For the Super Eagles right there. You know, I mentioned the number of midfielders that we have there, just 4. If he's going to play the 4-4-2, the 4-3-3, even if he's going to be a 3-5-2, it's still going to be very, very difficult for them to definitely get it right, especially in the middle of the park right there. It is going to be a tight one, a closely contested game. And at this stage, with the likes of the kind of caliber of players, just like what you mentioned, the kind of players that the Super Eagles of Nigeria parades, we are not supposed to be having struggles playing against the likes of Lesotho to be cracking our brain about who is supposed to play for where and where. Take, for instance, Alex Iwobi. When he gets to Fulham, he plays on the left side of the flank. But right now, it comes to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, he's been listed among the potential midfielders that apply their trade for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. If you play 2 defensive midfielders, 1 defensive midfielder, maybe in Ndidi, you definitely have to play 2 attacking midfielders. Who do you have? Alex Iwobi, who's a winger for week in, week out for Fulham. You're bringing him into the middle of the park as a number 10. So it becomes a struggle for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But before we leave this story and also talk about results already coming out, and teams that have qualified already, same as if the North Africans, they are well prepared for the World Cup than the other countries in the continent. We already have about 3 of them into the World Cup already. We have the likes of Morocco or Algeria, who also made it through yesterday, and also Egypt. Tolu, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, what should we be expecting today?
I'm expecting a win. Nothing short of that. Anything short of the Super Eagles getting a win against Lesotho, it's a no-no for me. I was talking with somebody off here, and it's fact that if the Super Eagles fail to beat Lesotho, they should not come back to Nigeria. Because we are not going to take anything short of winning from them. Because seriously, we can't take anything for granted right now. The boys must also realize what is at stake. Whatever you want to do right now, do it on the field of play. Don't come and give us another sad love song. Come to Uyo and complete the task. But the first thing is, you must get the job done right there at Peter Mokaba Stadium. They shouldn't leave the field without getting a win. And I think every player must realize that we can't afford to dilly-dally. Anything short of winning, they shouldn't think of coming to Nigeria. That's my own personal opinion, and how passionate I am when it comes about Super Eagles of Nigeria. Every right-thinking person right now must start talking to the Super Eagles, be it the NFL president, be the Secretary General. They must do the needful that the Super Eagles go into that field of play, leave everything on the field of play. Nothing must be left behind. And we Nigerians can also judge based on their performance. Okay, if they give all, we know they give all. And that's it. That's just it.
You know, one of the biggest excuses that the players or maybe the official of the side always make is a condition of the playing pitch. Right now, you're going to an almost new football pitch, the Peter Mokaba Stadium in South Africa, Polokwane to be precise. There is no reason for any of the side to complain about the condition of the pitch in this particular game. Much questions, it goes out to the Bafana of South Africa. If you can have that quality of pitch in your country, why play the Super Eagles of Nigeria, where we played a 1-1 draw against South Africa in this same qualifier? So much question and so much a gray area right there to be asked. But it is African football. You can't argue with some of those decisions. Before we have to look back quickly, let's run through some of the results that came in yesterday from the CAF World Cup qualifiers. Burundi lost to Kenya by a lone goal. That one goal ultimately put Kenya in a very good position to make it through to the knockout phase. We call it knockout phase, but it's actually the playoff phase. Guinea also got a 2-1 victory over Mozambique. Algeria got the much needed result that they need to go all the way to the World Cup against Somalia in a 3-0 victory right there against Somalia. Botswana also lost at home to Uganda by a lone goal, and Liberia got a 3-1 victory against Namibia. Beautiful result right there when it comes to the CAF World Cup qualifiers for match day 9. All those games went down yesterday. Tomorrow we'll be having, today we'll be having some games, but let's give you highlights of some of those games that went down yesterday. Beautiful results, especially when you see some of the side making it through to the competition. When we're back, we'll talk about the fixtures that we'll be expecting today, especially the one that houses the group that involves the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Ultimately, will decide a whole lot. Just like what Tolu said, that is a match that the Super Eagles can't even afford to lose against Lesotho. Good stadium, good spirit ahead of this particular encounter. They should get it done and dusted as soon as possible. Stay tuned.